Good morning, children. We are going to continue chapter number 2, Endogenetic Movements of Geography. Before starting types of seismic waves, we will study layer of the earth. Now, starting at the center, earth is composed of 4 distinct layers. They are from deepest to shallowest, the inner core, the outer core, the mantle and the crust. Except for the crust, no one has ever explored these layers in person. There is more to the earth than what we can see on the surface. In fact, if you were able to hold earth in your hand and slice it in half, you did see that it has multiple layers, but of course the interior of our world continue to hold some mysteries for us. Even as we intrepidly explore other world and deploy satellite into orbit, the inner recesses of our planet remains off limit from us. However, advances in seismology have allowed us to learn a great deal about the earth and the many layers that make it up. Each layer has its own properties, compositions and characteristics that affects many of the key processes of our planet. They are in order from the exterior to the interior: the crust, the mantle, the outer core and the inner core. Let's take a look at them and see what they have going on. Like all terrestrial planets, the Earth's interior is differentiate. This means that its internal structure consists of layers arranged like the skin of an onion. Peel back one and you find another, distinguished from the last by its chemical and geological properties, as well as vast differences in temperature and pressure. Our modern scientific understanding of the Earth's interior structure is based on inference made with the help of seismic monitoring. In essence, this involves measuring sound waves generated by earthquake and examining how passing through the different layers of the earth causes them to slow down. The changes in seismic velocity cause refractions, which is calculated to determine differences in density. These are used along with measurements of the gravitational and magnetic field of the earth and experiments with crystalline solids at pressure and temperature, characteristics of the earth's deep interior to determine what earth's layer look like. In addition, it is understood that the differences in temperature and pressure due to leftover heat from the planet's initial formation. Before coming to the chapter, I will explain you about seismology. Seismology is the scientific study of earthquakes and the propagation of elastic waves through the earth or through other planet-like bodies. Seismology is also the study of earthquakes and seismic waves that moves through and around the earth. A seismologist is a scientist who studies earthquake and seismic waves. Seismic waves are the waves of energy caused by the sudden breaking of rocks within the earth or an explosion. They are the energy that travels through the earth and is recorded on seismographs. The seismic waves can be divided into primary, secondary and surface waves. First picture is of primary waves, or you can say P waves. P waves is the first one to reach the surface of the earth after the energy is emitted in the earth's interior. They travel at a very fast speed from the focus of the earthquake in radial direction. Subjected to a P wave, particles in the rock moves in the direction of wave to and fro. The wave moves to and fro, therefore these waves are called forward-backward waves. These waves can travel through all the three states, liquid, solid and gaseous. But while traveling through liquid medium, their direction gets changed. It is because of the primary waves that the building on the Earth's surface move back and forth. You can see the picture of S waves. See this picture. Now secondary wave or S wave you can say. You can say secondary wave or S waves. The waves which reach the Earth's surface after the primary waves are called secondary waves. These waves also scatter in all directions from the focus of the earthquake. Their velocity is lesser than the P waves. The particles lying in the way of these waves move up and down in the direction of the energy transfer. These waves can travel only through the solid medium. They get absorbed as they enter the liquid medium. The building on the Earth's surface move up and down because of these waves. These are more destructive than the P wave. So children, which wave is more destructive? It is primary wave or secondary wave? So secondary wave is more destructive than the primary wave. Okay. Now see surface or L waves. So these waves are generated after the main P and S waves reach the epicenter. They travel in the direction of the circumference of the earth along the crust. They are highly destructive. Seismograph. Through this instrument, a graph showing movement of seismic waves, seismograph, can be generated. After the study, this graph, the magnitude of the earthquake is known. Now see figure 2.11 shows a simple seismograph and a seismograph prepared from it. Now with the help of modern technology, advanced seismographs have been designed. With their help, even microseismic waves can also be measured. Now see, this is 2.13. Okay. So hang a heavy bag or pouch on the hook of a spring balance as shown in the figure. See here. So pull the bag down and release it. Now observe the spring and note the movement of the spring. As shown in figure 2.14, this is figure 2.14, make the students stand holding the ends of a rope. Ask one student to give a jerk to the rope by pulling it up and down with the hands. Observe what happens and note the movement of a rope. Now this is a question, it is given here in 2.14. So what you are going to see here, if a student is holding the end of a rope, ask, so if I am telling you to give a jerk to the rope by pulling it up and down with hands, so what you are going to observe? Do this experiment at home and please tell me, okay? Or you can spread rangoli on a large plate, flick on the lower side of the plate slightly with your fingers, observe what happens. So you try this. Okay, this is experiment 2.15, figure 2.15, and it is experiment of a rangoli. So try this, okay? Children, I have shown you 3 activities, okay? So after you complete all the 3 activities given, so compare them with each of the seismic waves and identify which activity is similar to which type of waves, okay? Now see here, effects of the earthquake. So what are the effects of the earthquake? You will find cracks, fractures, develops on the ground, causes landslides which leads to sliding of rocks. Sometimes the groundwater changes its course. For example, well may get water or may dry up. Okay. Some areas get uplifted while some may subside. Tsunami are generated in ocean. These waves can cause great loss of life and properties in the coastal areas. In snow-covered areas, avalanches may occur. Buildings collapse and loss of life and property occurs. Transportation routes get disrupted communication system collapses. So these are the effects of earthquake. Now children, see here volcanoes. Okay, what is volcanoes? So hot, solid, liquid and gaseous materials are thrown out from the mantle of the earth into the surface of the earth, and this process is called volcanic eruption. During this process, ash, water vapor, various types of poisonous gas and inflammable gases, hot molten magma and etc. are thrown out. When the molten magma comes out on the surface, it is called lava. On the basis of the types of eruption, volcanoes can be divided into the following types. So number 1 is central type of conical volcano. What is this? Which type of volcano is this? We are going to study here. During eruption, the molten magma comes out through a pipe-like vent. See here, you can see here, it's a pipe-like vent. Inside the earth's surface, the lava spreads across the mouth of this vent. When it comes out, as a result, cone-shaped mountains start forming and conical volcanic mountains are formed. Mount Fujiyama in Japan and Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania are example of central type volcanoes and conical mountains. So this is see figure 2.16, you can see here. So this is the picture of central, or you can say conical volcanoes. Okay. Now this is the second type of volcanoes. So that is fissure type volcano. So during eruption, when the magma comes out not from a single vent but from many cracks, fissures, it is called fissure type volcanic eruption. Okay, but here you have seen in this central type or conical volcanoes, only one pipe like vent is there, and from one side only that molten magma will come out. Okay, and here it will come from different, means so many different sides of the earth. The molten material coming out with the eruption spreads on both the sides of the fissure. As a result, volcanic plateaus are formed. The Deccan Plateau of India has also been formed due to such a type of volcanic eruption. Always remember, according to the periodicity of the volcanic eruption, 3 types of volcanoes can be identified. If the volcanic eruptions are regular even in the present times, then such volcanoes are called active volcanoes. For example, Mount Fujiyama in Japan, Mount Stromboli in Mediterranean Sea. When a volcano has not erupted since long, but many may become active suddenly, it is called dormant volcanoes. For example, Mount Vesuvius in Italy, Mount Katmai in Alaska, Barren Islands in India. Those volcanoes which have not erupted in the past since long are not likely to erupt in the future are called extinct volcanoes. For example, Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. Now, make friends with maps. Refer the map on page number 18 and answer the following question. So this is, page number 18. So you have to see that and you have to answer the following. Examine the plate boundaries in the given map and write the names of the plates. So you have to see here and you have to write the names of the plates. Okay. So the names are North American plate, South American plate, Indo-Australian plate, African plate, Eurasian plate, Pacific plate, Antarctic plate, Arabian plate, Nazca plate, Coco plate, Cocos plate, Caribbean plate, Scotia plate, Arabian plate and Somali plate. So children, you can see here plate, Somali plate you can see here, Arabian plate you can see here, Nazca plate, Cocos plate. So all plates are given here, and Indo-Australian plate, Pacific plate, Antarctic plate. So everything is given here, just you have to find the answers. Okay. Question number 2. On which side of the continent of North and South America are the earthquake prone zone located? Which mountains are located here? So you can find here, the earthquakes prone zone is located on the western side of North and South America. Rockies and Andes mountain ranges are located here, you can find. Question number 3. In which mountainous zone in Asia does the earthquake prone zone lie? And the answer is the Himalayan mountainous zone of Asia is an earthquake prone zone. In which region are the volcanoes concentrated in Africa? What could be the reason? Volcanoes are concentrated in the eastern part of Africa along the Rift Valley region, as this region is located on plate boundaries. Now question number 5 is correlate earthquake regions, distributions of volcanoes and plate boundaries. Plate boundaries are directly related to areas of earthquakes and volcanoes. Most of the volcanoes are located on the plate boundaries. Similarly, the earthquake zones are also seen in the border areas. And this question was given on the page number 17, and you have to find the answers from here. But I have given you the answers. If you have your textbook, you can see all these things here. This was the question here on page number 17, and that I shown you that map, it was there on the page number 18 this side. So now geographical explanation. By looking at figure 2.18, you will understand that plate boundaries are directly related to areas of earthquakes and volcanoes. Most of the volcanoes are located on the plate boundaries. Similarly, the earthquake zone are also seen in the border areas. The part of the plate boundary which slides under the crust subdues. There is loss of material. Such boundaries are called plate consuming or subduction boundaries, we can say. In areas where new material is coming up on to the earth's crust, they are called plate creating or constructive boundaries. Both the processes happens continuously. They are shown in the map in figure 2.18. So you have seen that map 2.18, okay? This map I have shown you, so that one. Now children, we will study what are the effects of volcanoes. Loss of life and property. First effect is loss of life and property. Second is sometimes tsunami gets generated due to volcanic eruption occurring below ocean floors. Okay. Dust, smoke, ash, gases, water vapor and etc. remains in the atmosphere for a long time. This may create imbalance in the environment. Land may become fertile due to volcanic ash. Many minerals are found near the earth's surface because of lava. New land is formed due to volcanic eruption, or at times an island may even disappear. Lakes are formed at the mouth of the craters of dead volcanoes when rainwater accumulates in them. Do you know children, this is barren island Andaman. This you can see. Andaman and Nicobar Islands are located to the southeast of mainlands of India. On this archipelago lies the barren island, India's only active volcanoes. These volcanoes was dormant for a long time, but in February 2017 it started erupting. Mainly dust, smoke and mud is coming out of this eruption along with some lava. So this is there in Andaman and Nicobar Island. Now children, I have completed this chapter now, lesson number 2, endogenetic movements. Okay, so this lesson is completed. Now we will be doing question answers. Okay.